If your baby is able to raise their chest off of the ground by themselves, they're already rolling back and forth on their own, you can start practicing how to help them sit up. I am Dr. Nkirika. I'm a pediatrician, a pediatric ear doctor, and I'm a mom of 3. At about 4 or 5 months old, you can start putting pillows around your baby when they sit to help support them, so they can start practicing how to sit up. Over time, they're going to learn how to lean over and lean forward and balance themselves and maintain a sitting position. As we already talked about in 4 months old, when they're able to differentiate colors and have specific favorable toys, you can place these bright toys that they like in front of them when they sit. And this can keep them entertained, but also make them more likely to lean forward and support themselves and balance better. At this stage, they're also refining their motor skills compared to when they're 4 months old. So now they're able to grab larger toys that are easier to grasp. So they may reach out and grab objects that you didn't even know are big enough for them to grab. This is also an interesting stage where they start to get bored with toys they used before, and they will start to search for other things. So you may place a couple of toys they're used to playing with. They may play with it for a couple of minutes, and they will remove it and start to search for other items. While this is great and a great skill to be able to explore, this is also when they are so curious and you want to make sure that the toys around them are safe, and even older adults and older kids in the house have safer toys around them, because they can get into things that are not their age and things that may actually hurt them. Their vision and their hearing are also almost done developing. They are starting to recognize their name, and you may notice when you call your baby's name, they will actually turn and look at you because they're starting to get familiar with the fact that the name is identified or associated with them. Even though we recommend calling your baby's name, talking to them directly from a young age, this is when we want to do it more. And even siblings in the house, this is when we want them to talk to them directly and call their names, because they're starting to recognize their names. At about 5 months old, some babies are starting to recognize the pattern of cause and effect. So which means they may throw a toy and notice you're giggling or laughing with them, or you may get sad and mad, and they may get angry or grunt or get sad based on that reaction. So while this is a time to play peekaboo and things that they really enjoy and have fun with, this is also a time you want to watch your emotions, because they tend to respond and react based on that. Of course, this is not completely developed at 5 months old, but of course it definitely starts early, and they associate feelings and things, you react based on that. Falls, unfortunately, may start getting more common around this age. With your child being able to sit up or trying to sit up or roll over more, they may start to fall off the bed or high surfaces if you place them on it. So I know as parents, we always have a lot going on and we want to get active and grab something from the other room. If your baby is sitting up or your baby is starting to roll over, I always recommend to put your baby on the floor. They can sit up. They're not going to be falling from a high surface. It's going to be low enough where they are less likely to be injured. So we're rolling over, sitting up, trying to support themselves, I highly recommend put them on the floor. They cannot fall off the floor. Even if they fall, it's not going to injure them as much as if it's a high surface like a bed. When it comes to feeding, a lot of babies are still on breast milk and formula. Some of them, this is going to vary. Some may be going towards 24 to 32 ounces of feed a day. Some others may be feeding less. What's important is just to make sure your baby is gaining weight along their own curve. At 5 months old, they're definitely salivating more and getting more excited with food around them. But here is when you want to also make sure you're keeping tabs on the cues to show they're interested in feeds. So here are a few signs you may want to watch out for as your child gets closer to maybe 6 months old, to make sure they're getting interested in feeds. One, they're able to open their mouth, or when you're offering food to them, especially not just milk, but things that are more semi-solid or like baby food. 2, they're able to hold their head upright. If a baby is not able to hold their head upright, we're actually concerned they may choke and aspirate, and we do not recommend starting feeds at that time. Another one is they are able to sit upright in a high chair on an infant feeding chair, and of course that they are able to move the food from their tongue to the back of their throat and actually swallow. If you're trying to feed your baby something solid or towards the end of 5-6 months and they're spitting that out, maybe they're not yet ready and you may want to give them some time. And while you're watching for all the signs of readiness for feeding and getting ready, you should also start getting excited, because now your baby is about to make it to the half year, 6 months old, and I will see you in your baby at 6 months.